75th anniversary of the Great Appalachian Storm of 1950. Our meteorologist Jason Livia recounts the storm and has the details.
Well, this week marks the 75th anniversary of what was one of the worst snowstorms in the history of the Mid-Ohio Valley. So it has a couple of names. We have the Great Appalachian Storm of 1950 and the Storm of the Century. So let's look back at exactly how it progressed and what made it so bad. So on the afternoon to overnight of November 23rd to the 24th, an Arctic cold front, very cold, started moving across the United States, bringing sub-freezing temperatures to much of the United States. Snow also was following this front, which has helped kickstart all the snow that we got in the Mid-Ohio Valley. Pensacola, Florida was down to about 22 degrees, with Asheville, North Carolina, and Atlanta, Georgia close to below zero temperatures, at least for November 24th and 25th. Now, this low pressure formed right around that cold front that swept through the Mid-Ohio Valley, but it behaved a little weirdly. As we went through the November 25th and started going to the 26th, the low moved to the northwest, which isn't usual for this type of storm. A lot of snow started moving around this low pressure and falling across the Midwest and parts of the Appalachians as well. For November 25th into the 26th, nearly 16 inches of snow fell across the Mid-Ohio Valley, and some other areas in the state of West Virginia saw even more that day. It then proceeded to stall because of what's known as an omega block, a high pressure squished between two low pressure systems, and it was very strong at this point. That kind of made everything in the upper atmosphere stall, and it sat on top of us over the next few days following November 26th, which helped add to even more of the snow and brought even gustier winds up to the northeast. Mount Washington in New Hampshire recorded 160-mile-an-hour wind gust. Now, heading into November 27th, 28th, and into the 29th, it continued to sat and adding up those snow totals. But after the 25th and 26th, those snow totals did start to decrease. Though by the time we got to the end of the storm on the 29th into the 30th, after the omega block fell apart, we still saw freezing conditions and snow depth of over a foot, in some areas close to 2 feet, especially over in the mountains. Now, this storm took the lives of over 350 people, over 100 of which just by trying to shovel all the snow out of their driveway. It stranded communities for days to weeks, especially in harder to reach areas up in the mountains. It even caused $66.7 million in damages, and that was back in 1950. When you adjust that for inflation, that's nearly $900 million in 2025. This was rated as the worst storm in the history of the Mid-Ohio Valley and really the Ohio Valley in general. You can see here a lot of the snow really just went through West Virginia, eastern Ohio, and western Pennsylvania, where the most snow fell, more than 2 feet across the area, and some areas got closer to 5 feet. And this is on the Regional Snowfall Index from the National Centers of Environmental Information. This rated it a Category 5 snowstorm with an RSI index of 34.7. Normal Category 5 starts at 18, being the worst storm in the history of the region, and it wasn't even close. You can find a more detailed recount of this system and its impacts on our website at WTAP.com. But for now, back to you.
Now, here's your